Get started back. Everyone go ahead and pull up your website if you have not already done that. So we're going to be working through, in the next 2 hours, we're going to be working through getting a website design. You're going to need two things. For those who may not have gotten it already yesterday, you are going to need the shared folder that we shared yesterday. So if you do not already have that, the quickest way to find it is to go to cozort.net/most/MSOP. We'll see if we can make that a little bit bigger. Let's see. So you're going to need your website, and you're going to need this link right here. Okay, so we need that link. That should open up to a page where there is a link right here. It says find the files from the seminar. You're going to click that. And that will take you in here to the seminar files. We are going to be using these files throughout class. We're going to show you how to walk through each of these steps, do each of these things, and be able to work through this process to set up your website. We've kind of shortcut a little bit for those who are on the screen. We've shortcut a little bit to get the sites created because we've got a bunch of people sitting in the audience, a bunch of people in class, and so we needed a lot of sites very quickly. To recap, for those who want to go back and review yesterday's videos, if you're setting up your own site or you're watching the stream, you want to begin with the videos that involve going through and setting up your DigitalOcean server. You're going to use that to connect your domain name through the service Cloudflare, which is free. And then you're going to use Server Pilot to actually install WordPress on that DigitalOcean server. We've done that process. We have logged in, and now our website looks like this. We've taken the Pro theme and we've added it. Now, for those who were here yesterday, who are in the class and have your website set up and logged in, raise your hand if your theme says it's not validated. You do that by going up here into your dashboard or going to put in your URL, and then after that, /WP-admin. Let me put that on screen. All right. So if this were Eric Richardson's site, it would be ericrichardson.msop.org/WP-admin. That would be the address that you would go to. Once you're signed in, let me do this. Raise your hand if at any point I'm going too fast and you're not caught up with where I am. Okay. Because what we want everyone to go through is I really have tried to build in the time to do this, but as far as build in the time to slow down and make sure everyone gets there. So as we go through a certain spot, if you're not yet finished, raise your hand. We are going to have time at the end of the day. I think the last session is the 2 o'clock one. Let me just double check here. Check the schedule. Okay, the last scheduled session is at 2, from 2 to 3. We're going to do some additional Q&A, some additional lab time, but if you're still working through some of the pieces on the website or you have more questions, I will hang around as long as I need to, okay? So starting at 2, after we're finished with the last little bit that we go through, anytime after that between then and 4 o'clock, I'm available for you to continue working on your website and get where you're comfortable with what's going on there, okay? So Don't be afraid. And also Daniel, Webster, and Eric will roam around and also help people who are trying to get caught up with where everyone else is. So we're going to log into our website. We're going to see the dashboard. This is the back end of the website. With the back end, you will go through and be able to create pages, create posts, design the site, and manage the site. All of that happens in the WordPress dashboard. Inside WordPress, you have a number of different things that you will want to familiarize yourself with over time. The first one is the functionality of the Pro theme. Pro is a very advanced theme. If you were to go out and purchase it for a standalone website, it would cost you, I believe, $79. It's a one-time fee. It's not an annual fee or a renewal. It's one time. But it's because you're getting a lot of tools and a lot of workflow functionality in that. There is a reason why every website I build for a client, I go and I send ThemeCo $79. Actually, I buy the bulk rate. I buy 5 at a time because it's powerful and it allows me to save time. The thing that I don't have an infinite supply of, well, I don't have an infinite supply of money, but I definitely don't have an infinite supply of time. Every second I use, I never get back. So I want tools that save me time. I want tools that increase my productivity through building effective systems instead of just doing things the hard way over and over and over again. Once we've logged in to Pro, we want to click, or logged into the dashboard, we want to click on Pro and then click Validation. Everyone should have green unlocked icons. Is that correct? Yes.
For logging back in, the username is what again?
The username is your name, all lowercase, all one word. It's actually the same thing as your subdomain. I guess I should tell people what a subdomain is, shouldn't I? Because I don't think I did that yesterday. This right here, that's highlighted on the screen, is a domain. Anything that's in this area before the first period is called a subdomain. It sits beneath the domain by way of priority. So when you are talking about a website, quite often you will find a www before the domain, but sometimes you'll go to a website and you won't see the www. It'll just be facebook.com. That's because facebook.com is the domain. www is simply a subdomain. It's categorizing it as part of the World Wide Web. But as the internet is advanced, we've focused more on not caring whether or not the www is there. So this is a subdomain. Everything after the slash is part of that domain and or subdomain. Okay? It's a page, it's a file, it's something else that is contained inside that domain. Now, as we log in and we're at the validation page, give me a hand raise if you don't have green unlock symbols. All right, everyone seems to. One of the things that does is, as a result of having a paid version of the Pro theme, you actually have access to all of these plugins. I mentioned yesterday that plugins are like you've got a house and you decide to add on to the house. Now you have more space. Plugins give you additional functionality, and all of these are included. We've limited the ones that are installed currently because we want to focus on priorities. But all of these are available and part of the Pro theme. So if you're building a website that's for something else and you spend the money for Pro theme, you're going to get those 6, another 6, another 6, another 6, and 5 more. You all do the math, figure out how many that is. But there's a lot of functionality there. There's a lot of things that you can do with these tools without ever going and spending another dollar. That's part of what the Pro theme has by way of value. We're going to focus on just a couple of them as we go through this. It's going to be this Convert Plus, which is going to allow us to capture email addresses. And that is when people give us permission, when they sign up for something and we give them something in return. And then this one down here called the grid. The grid is useful because what do you do every week at a congregation? A bulletin. Most likely. What else do you do at a congregation? You worship, and in that worship period, you probably have a what, if you're the preacher? A sermon. Well, if you record that sermon, as we discussed yesterday during the question and answers, and you record it on maybe using a lapel microphone straight onto your phone, you've got an audio file. I hope you had a sermon title already before you got up there. You might have a sermon outline that goes with it. You might want to post those 3 things together on your website to help people study, to help people learn. Well, if you're going to do that, you need a good way to display week after week after week a new sermon. Here's what you don't want to do. This is what we used to do years ago. I put up a new page that's got today's sermon and today's title and today's outline, but now I've got a sermons page over here, right? You know, this is this page where all the sermons are listed. Now I need to go to the sermons page and I need to make a link from that page over to the new post. And every week I've got to remember to go to that page and put a new link there. Terrible idea. Why? Because computers are better at this than we are. So what we do is we create that page to dynamically update. You say, well, that's a big long word. What do you mean? When you create a post and you tag in that post, it's a sermon, this grid will go, oh, look, there's a new sermon, and automatically display it. Because you don't need to spend your time doing things that the computer, the server, the website ought to do for you. Well, what if there's a new bulletin? You upload the bulletin, and automatically, once you create that post, the grid goes and says, here's the new bulletin. Let me show you this in a visual way where you can see it. Here's the site that we looked at yesterday. This is kind of our demo site. In the site, you will notice here are sermons. 3 sermons there. I think there might even be one by B.J. Clark that I used as an example in the course. But here are 3 sermons. They each have an image. The scaling is a little weird. I think something's going on because of the projection. But the sermons are here. In order to create a new one, do I need to go find that image again, create another title, create the post, then go to this page, update? No, I don't do that. What I do is I create just a new post. So let's step through these processes. We'll get your design set up first, and then we're going to teach you why these things are important and how they work together. So the first thing you need to do in your dashboard is go to Pro Validation. You should already be there. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upload a theme file. In the Downloads folder, which is in the Shared folder that you have, some should be seeing it on the browser. Any of these files you can right-click and download on, or download them. We're going to select the Pro Theme Options XCS file right here. All right. Does everyone see where we're at? Okay. All right, let me walk through this. I don't always talk and think in a logical order for most people, so we're going to, if you have the cosort.net/most/MSOP page open. Have you gone there yet? All right. It's the same link as the bit.ly link we had yesterday, but just type in your browser. All right, let me get the right one. This right here. And make sure and leave a tab in your browser open for this right here. You just leave this open the entire next 2 sessions, because we're going to keep coming back here. Again, raise your hand if you're not up with us or you need additional help. All right. Daniel, can you work with Emmanuel? Say that again. We're going to be in the NSP seminar. So what I posted on there is inside. All right, so we're going to be inside the protein. We mentioned this for those who got the bit.ly link yesterday. It is one folder higher than this one is, the link that's on this page. As a result of that, let me show you this. I wish you would quit doing that. All right, so if we click right here, you'll notice that yesterday the link we shared was this one. We are inside this folder. So if you used the bit.ly link yesterday, this is the folder you need to be inside of, where all of the things are we're going to discuss today. So has everybody found the correct folder on the Google Drive share? Just kind of nod your heads if not.
We're having some issues with iPads because...
Yes, iPads are not going to work for this. We need computers. Who has an iPad and needs a computer? Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. It's not a real computer. Set it over here. You can use it for your notes. And you can use this. Yes. That might be good. You want to go with her? She's going to go get two laptops from Eric's house. So we'll get you. Gotcha. At the break, you probably want to go get it. All right. Everybody caught up? Now you're not caught up. You're ahead. What are you doing, Calvin? Yes. All right. Sorry. Yes, that's where we're at. So. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. If you are in the Google Drive, and what I recommend is either do these screens side by side or do one in one window and one in another. Different tabs is fine too. But we're going to go into the Pro Theme Options XCS folder, and there is a file in there that we are going to download. As soon as the internet catches up with me. Who killed the internet? There we go. All right, so Pro Theme Options XCS file. There is a file in there called collierville-church-of-christ.xcs.json. All right, we're going to right-click on it, and we are going to download. As you get used to doing this, you're going to find we're going to do this a number of times today, not the same file, but a separate file each time. For those who are advanced or during the break, I highly recommend maybe you go download all of these files in advance and just have them in a folder. But we're going to click download. That will download, save it to your desktop or somewhere where you can find it. You will need to find it in just a minute. Remember to raise your hand if you're running, if you're not quite sure where we need to be. Let me do this. Let's see what. Yeah. Just go ahead. Just be quick. Save it. So that's a good question that just came up. When you click download, it might prompt you to either save the file or open it. You want to save the file. And you want to save it to a location where you'll be able to find it. It'll probably go to your downloads folder, whether you're on PC or Mac, either one. Here, this one right here. Fine. You're fine. Windows down here hidden. Go up a little bit. Right, you see where it says recents? Yeah, just click it and drag it up. There you go. It's that file right there. All right, so we're not going to open it. We're going to import it on another page. So let me do this for you. So keep this page open where you've got the dashboard of the website available. And then also keep this page open where you've got the files that we're using. So just keep both of these pages open. You can resize them as you need to make it viewable. But there you go. Yeah, you can just go ahead and you can right click on the folders and have it. All right, how are we doing? Say what? Okay. For those who do have iPads, let me tell you this. For social media and for things that live inside of apps, they're great. For this kind of stuff, they're not. And it's just an inherent requirement of the platform that this is just not what they're intended to do. There are ways around that, and maybe someday in the future they will advance far enough that they can do it. But real computers, I say that because there is a difference, are intended for this kind of work. And so you should think through that idea. You can do this with an old laptop, but it does require something that has the ability to use a full browser. That's one of the keys. Is tablet browsers are not full browsers. They don't have the full capabilities of what a full Chrome browser or Firefox or one of those has. All right, is everybody caught up to where we are? So, if we've downloaded the file, I'm going to hit save here. So I'm going to hit save. It's now on my desktop. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to, in our dashboard, click this link. It says choose an XCS file or drag it here to import. Everyone see that link? Shake or nod. So on your site, you need to be inside Pro and inside the validation page. Scroll down from the top until you see choose an XCS file. You're going to click that, and it will open a window where you can navigate a Finder window on PC or an Explorer window on, Finder window on Mac or Explorer window on PC, and you're going to choose the file that ends in xcs.json. I'm going to actually click on it once everybody's sure that they know what they have. Everybody caught up? While we're waiting, my two children, come here. Start at the front and lay one in front of each person, in front of their computer. Just y'all can ignore this for now, but I can have my so you start on this side and just one each. All right. Has everybody uploaded the file? Who has not uploaded the file? Raise your hand if you haven't uploaded the file, okay? Oh, no. Just remember who has it. Yep, no problem. So you need to be inside Pro. And inside, so you're in the validation page. So you're going to upload it there, but you need to download the file. Yes. Sorry, you will get a message that asks you, should you proceed or not? Hit yes and proceed. It's a red button. Now let me warn you, in the future, once you have this done the first time, if you ever decide, hey, I want to create a new theme options and save it out and import it on another website, this makes a lot of changes. So you should always make sure you have a backup. Anytime we make changes to a website, especially global changes across a website, create a backup first. Show you how to do that. It's very quick and easy, but create a backup first. Make sure that you don't make a very large change until you have a backup in order. Now, you all have a brand new website. You don't have to worry about it. There's nothing there yet. So we're going to click yes, proceed, and it's going to import, and a bunch of settings just got set. Now, unfortunately for you, all of your websites are now called Collierville Church of Christ, because this is a global import of settings, but I'm going to walk you through the settings that we need to change. So what this did is this changed all the settings that we needed to change in our website gave you a default set of them. We're going to go through, modify a few at a time. Okay? The next step that we're going to go to is we are going to go in the Pro theme, we're going to go down to theme options. This is the settings that are in here are what you just imported. Okay? You just did it in one big file, and we're just going to go make a few changes for each of you so that you can see what it is that you have. First thing you have, you'll notice already, you have a logo you didn't have before. That's because the logo was in the theme options file, okay? That Hometown Church of Christ. I'm going to show you how to build a logo like that. It's quick, it's easy, and it will take you typing 24 characters or less. But we're going to go and start with, I think, this page. Yes. So, has everyone clicked the theme options button and you see something similar to this? Raise your hand if you haven't. If you haven't clicked the theme options button yet. Okay. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to click right here. Everyone should see Ethos. Right? Y'all are going to have to shake a little bit more exuberantly. I'm looking for people who aren't caught up. All right. So, in Ethos, we can set some basic settings for our website. This is an area where we're not going to spend a lot of time because you can go through and play with the design. We're talking about colors. We're talking about things like that. You can play with that later. But we're going to work through a few basic ones like making sure the name is correct. We're going to scroll down to, just right here, this top area. There's two things that you may want to set. Number one is the Navbar background color. If I change this, I'll show you what this does. That's the top header bar, okay? It's the navigation bar. They've shortened it to Navbar. Okay, so if I make this transparent, this slider right here goes from opaque, 100% color, to transparent. I can make it clear in the background and everything stands out, or I can give it a specific color. If you set a color that you want to use, let's say something like that blue right there, make sure that your text, in this case the logo that's up there, is able to be read. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to match two colors together which makes one of them illegible. You want to use a light color if you have a dark logo. You want to use a dark color if you got a light logo. Make things easy to read so that people can navigate your website. You can ignore the top bar background color for now. So, has everyone set a color for their navigation bar? So I guess for clarity, you click on select color and you drag your mouse around to find the color that you want. And then how transparent do you want that color? You want it just kind of just a small shade. So we can do something like that. Click Save after you set your color. Save is in the bottom left. Now, when I first started building websites, if I wanted to change the color on the background of the navigation bar, which you just did with about 5 clicks, I would have had to have done it separately on every page that I built. Open one page, edit the code, save it. Open another page, edit the code. I got to the point where I had about 400 pages over time. If I wanted to make a change, I had to go make it 400 times. Not anymore. We're using systems. But so you made a single color change. What if you wanted to use that color a lot of places on the website? Well, do you need to click on every one of those places and remember how far over in this slider you were and how far over in this slider? That would be a bad way to do it. Here's what we have in the world of the internet today. We have systems that use presets. Just like you imported a large array of options when you uploaded that file, inside the Pro theme, they said, you know what, you might want to customize a color one time instead of 150,000 times. So here's how you do that. If you hit this select color one more time, the navigation bar is a primary part of your website. That color is going to be on every single page everywhere, so that might be a color you want to use throughout the rest of the website, right? In which case, what you're going to do is you're going to highlight this text right here. You're going to right-click on it and hit copy. Right-click for PC users, I think it's Option-click for Mac. I'm actually going to go back to this other color back here because I'm a blue guy. All right, so I've highlighted my color and I've hit copy. Everyone done that? Raise your hand if you have hit save and you've also copied your color. Raise your hand if you have done it. Have done it. Have done it. There we go. All right. All right. So you've got your color. Click on it. Yep, click there. Oh, sorry, click one more time. It was already up. I didn't see it. Where's this click? Yeah, select color. All right. Click on it one more time. Now, highlight this text area right here. Now, just click and drag over it. There you go. Now, hold Option. Oh, okay, you've got to right click. You can right click. All right, so right click on it and hit copy. Left click on it. All right, now so you've copied it. Give me just a minute. Everybody copied it? Okay. Once you've copied it, come down here to this cog in the bottom left. It's the symbol right above save. Everybody there? It will open a set of preferences for your entire website. If you're inside of a page, it'll open the preferences for a page. But in this case, these are global preferences. We are going to select the one that says colors. And you'll see 4 boxes. One of them says brand primary, one of them says brand secondary, one of them says link, one of them says link interaction. We're going to click on brand primary and highlight this area. Oops. Highlight that and paste. So we're going to highlight the text down here in this brand primary area and right click and paste. Everybody done that? Raise your hand if you haven't done it. Once you paste it in, just click over here in the extra space, and you'll see that color is now in that box. Does everybody see that? Raise your hand if you haven't gotten color in that box yet. Anybody? Warren? Nope, no problem. So go through and just select a color that's maybe on that. Click up here. So, yeah. There you go. So we can work with different color over time. Okay, so it's wrapped the color. So we're going to highlight that text. The text where it's RGB. So it says RGB inside parentheses now. So we're just going to click and highlight that. And there we go. Final point. Okay. What we'll do is we'll come down here to that cog that's at the very bottom. Right above save. There you go. I'm going to put colors. Click on one of those parts. We're going to highlight this area. Just know what's happening. You can select the different colors. Yeah, click on that. I think the cursor's on there. Yeah, just basically in there and then click. So, now we want to click this button. Sorry, guys. Click that button right there. It's right above save. And you just click in there. Okay, you've done that. So let's save that. Raise your hand if the color that you put in there was a light color. Define light, light being not dark. If it's on this section of the screen, or even maybe this part of the color palette, except for really, really dark blues. If it's over here, it's light. If it's way down here, it's dark. So raise your hand if you've done a light color. Okay. If you've done a light color, what I want you to do in this, I want you to click in the brand secondary and choose run this little selector. Actually, no, I don't want you to select anything. I want you to type right here. We're going to do typing. Typing's faster. I want you to type 6 threes. 6 threes. So we've clicked brand secondary, and down here we're going to put 6 threes. If I can count. It's going to be kind of a mid-gray. Everybody there? You can hit enter, or you can click over here in the white space. Everybody done that? Raise your hand if you haven't done it. Three, 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 three. Three, 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 three. I'm going to make this one easy. Click in link. Click in link. So, click in the box that says link. And make it 6, 6, 6. Oh, that's not good. Let's do 3 more 6s. 6 6s. Oh, if you have a dark color, that's a good question. If you have a dark color, in this one, instead of 3 3s, sorry, instead of 6 3s, let me go grab this real quick. So if you set a dark color as your first one, make this one, stop, 6 C's. C as in Charlie. So if you set a dark color, make that secondary one 6 C's. Yes, I would. No, that's still kind of a light. What? Yeah. So the grid indicates it's partially transparent. So I would say it's a light color. A dark color would be visible on top of it. We're doing some of this just to give you some settings by default. Again, these are things you can go in and change. What is powerful about what we're doing right now is you can go change this once and it changes all over the website. Everything you had selected this color for before instantly changes to the new color. Okay? So we're setting global settings. If you set a dark color for your primary color in this link area, go ahead and still do 6 6s. So everybody should, in this third box, have 6 6s. I keep highlighting it and then clicking off. Raise your hand if you don't have 3 colors yet. 3 boxes, 3 different colors. Right? Yes? Yes? Okay. The last one. 6 5s. Everybody good? Yes. Yeah, you'll be fine. So, we click in the white space. Everybody's got 4 colors? By the way, was the first one faster than the last one faster than the first one? No. Getting it figured out? You click, you type, you click. Yeah. We're getting there. All right, we're getting there. We're going to create one more. Add new. Click add new, and oh, I hope that's not the color we're going to use. Everybody clicked Add New. We're going to click on this. F, 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 F. Those are your grades. No, sorry. 6 Fs. In the hexadecimal color world, that's what we work in websites. That's pure black. Okay? I'm sorry, not Fs. It's the other version. That's your actual grade. When you get 6 Fs, that's what you actually got. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You failed. Sorry, type in 6 zeros. 6 zeros. Before you click off, though, type up or click up here where it says color 4 and type in the word text. So before we clicked off to select the color, or you can click on it again, and click in the black area up here, erase where it says color 4 and type in the word text. Capital, lowercase, doesn't matter. Now, what you have is you have a website with some design. You have 5 colors that you've selected, which again, you can go customize this in addition later. But here's where this becomes valuable. We're going to click off, we're going to hit save. You remember how we had to come into this one and click on it and go roam around and try and find a color and figure out what transparency we wanted on it? Guess what just happened to all the rest of your site? Remember where you had blank space and nothing was there? You have a color now, don't you? No, sir? Down here with recent posts. Does everyone have color on these?
I don't have recent posts. I just have white.
They're on the right-hand side.
Oh, you're on another. You're in. Hold on a second. Okay. You don't have a page yet. It's over on the side because it's a sidebar. Some of you will have them, and most of you may have them over on the side. Mine are showing up in the middle because I have it half screen. Sorry. Mine are over on the side too. Okay? I've got to make room for more things. So, if you see them in the middle, that's fine. If you see them on the side, that's also fine. If you don't see recent posts and your color on it, let me know. Raise your hand. Okay, so you've done this. We're going to save colors. And then we're going to click over. We're just going to click over here. All right. And now, okay. So allow me to select a different color for you real quick. We're going to go a little lighter. I'm looking at the wrong bar. That's why. Who doesn't have it yet? So you're good. Who else? Who still needs help? Are we all caught up? Are we all caught up? Okay. We're going to exit out of dashboard. I'm sorry, wait, don't do that yet. Yeah. So, before we exit out, we're going to come in here to the one that says header. Say what? Oh yeah, if you're still seeing layout and design, hit the back arrow that was up here. So if you're still seeing layout and design, click this button right here and come out and go to header. Everybody see this page? Raise your hand if you don't see header right up here.
Mine doesn't look like what yours is showing.
All right? Caught up? In here where it says Hometown Church of Christ, or where it says logo text, type the name of your home congregation. Now, nothing visually will change on your page because we have a logo in there. But just make sure it says the name of your home congregation right there. We're going to do this a different way. If you've completed each step as I've given it to you, raise your hand if you're completed. As you complete, raise your hand and keep them there. We're going to give your shoulders a workout. Because we want you to see who hasn't completed it. Yep. So, yeah. Right here. Just type it in. Should there be an N there? Okay. There you go. It's catching up. After you've typed the name, click Save. Click Save. Save is down here, bottom left. Okay? Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to break for 10 minutes. And if you have not gotten to this point, stay in your seat. We're going to get you all cut up. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build the pages for your site. It will be very quick. It will be the same process once, and then again, and then again. That's one of the few times we do repetitive tasks. We're going to create the pages for your site, and then we're going to upload all the settings, all the design. We're moving a little bit slower, so what we're going to do is we're going to take some of the topics that I said we're going to be in the 11 o'clock hour, and we're going to move them back to this afternoon. Okay? So, go ahead and go to a break. You got about 10 minutes. Come back here at 11:20. If you've not made it to this point, don't get out of your chair. All right.
He can get that subdomain built pretty quick and we can get you fired up.
Hey, BJ. Hey, BJ. I'll have you ready at 11:20.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I've got something here, but I don't know what it is or where it falls into the template.
Your email is using costs about $56. This is the, we're using the subdomain. It's gonna cost something. Oh, yeah, pretty sure we're not wrong. We got it.
Trying to track that detail.
Theoretically, or your text to find we know who we are. You good? Good? Good. Cost to get the license. Follow along. But if you want, we're all doing it free, we just don't tell them. But if you want it,
Somebody's gonna kill themselves. Well, just don't let it be you.
Yeah, you have to buy it, it'll be probably $60, maybe 80.
Aaron can get it a little cheaper.
Yeah,
He
you
is
just,
his link, it's like, he and Maggie were there at the same time, but she didn't know anything about football or anything. Yeah, they probably know a little bit about him. Yeah.
It's like 5 o'clock, South Florida.
Daniel, he's gonna get it.
get it?
He climbed.
Just to get
Jared, young, his wife played soccer for at the same time. So I think last time I need to ask her if she knows, or if they did overlap. Just the 2 year school, you never know who does and who doesn't, but I know she and Maggie overlap.
Hey, brother Clark. Hey, brother Clark, what's your name?
Six round pitch.
Reach the word dot log.
Do I start it just a six round pitch and that's it?
I sent you the link to. We didn't have quarterbacks, so.
Okay, so the one limitation you have is this is running up with Prescott. They won't let us so let me let you
Yeah.
run with
Hey,
it.
we had
So
one
you
of
can
those.
follow along with us.
And
And
they
they
had
can
one.
I don't think, and
Yeah, it won't take very long,
And it's
but
only
we'll,
the important.
we'll let you follow along for everything you did and give
I
you
can change the colors and everything using my iPad.
I was watching it.
It's just on the software, so I can iPad can do it and
Then he throws the ball.
We're bypassing that for the benefits. but we'll go through those steps for your blog, so that you get the full, boys, that's enough.
Well, I hope it goes well. That's great. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. All right, see you then. Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible. There are a few things that it's not amazing, but in general, it's really incredible.
I think we're gonna do good. So I didn't want to spray the edge. To Michael. But then again, I thought, Michael, this first thing, he might put a little bit more than he would otherwise. He might want to start to get everything. Andrew Ford. So I got.
Good job.
Okay, we're going to get started back. Everyone's changed the name of their site. They've applied colors for their site, correct? We changed it right here in the header. All right. Next thing we're going to do, so there's one thing that I don't really like about ProTheme, but it's just a thing you have to live with. You've got to go in and out of it to get back to the dashboard, okay? So we're going to click on, this is called a hamburger menu up here. Why is it called a hamburger menu? Somebody tell me. It looks like a hamburger. It's 3 layers, 3 lines, okay? It's called a hamburger menu. We're going to click on that and click Exit to Dashboard. That's going to take you back to the dashboard. Looks like this. Everybody back to the dashboard? All right, so we're going to implement our new policy. Raise your hand as soon as you've done what I said to do so that we know who hasn't done it. No, you can't put your head. No, you can't scratch your head. You can't put your hand down for any reason whatsoever. Y'all are going to have strong shoulders when you're done. All right, everybody's back to the dashboard. We're going to come in here to settings. There are some settings in the Pro theme that are for the theme, but we need the WordPress settings this time. We're going to go to Settings and General. Currently, your site title will probably be your name. You can leave it at that, or if you were building this for a congregation, you would want to put the congregation's name. For now, let's leave it at your name, because this is going to be your student site where you continue to develop and learn, so your name should be at the top. Raise your hand if your name is not there in site title. Okay, it's there. All right. Email address currently is mine, right? Okay. Put in your email address there. And later today, some point you will get an email. It might be in your spam, so check that if you don't see it in your inbox. But later today, you will get a link in your email with a validation link to go confirm that change, so that you can't just go put anybody's email address in there and start spamming them. Okay? So put in your email address, and then we're going to hit save in a minute. The other things we want to do is we want to change the time zone to UTC -6. That's the time zone that we're in Memphis. If you were building this for a congregation in Zimbabwe, don't do -6. That's not the time zone for Zimbabwe. Okay, UTC time is worldwide time. So you'd have to choose the segment of the globe that you're in. And since we're building this and not in the business world, we're going to make the week start on Sunday, not on Monday. So there were 3 changes: your email address, your time zone, and week starts on Sunday. Everybody who's done that and hit save changes, raise your hand. Yeah. Correct, because it's not validated yet. The email will reverse itself to Aaron because that's not a validated change yet. All right, so but it should have triggered off an email, and if not, we'll go in and tweak that later. All right, I think everybody's completed. If you've not completed, raise your hand. All right. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go down, we're still in settings, we're going to go down to reading. This is important because we want the front page of our website. You've probably gone to a lot of websites that run on WordPress, and the very first thing that you see on the front page when you land there are all the most recent blog posts, right? That's a very common thing because that's the default setting. But we don't want that. We want a page to be our front page. So we're going to come in here and we're going to choose a stat. Wait a minute. I'm ahead of myself. Don't do this yet. We haven't built any pages. We don't have any pages to select. Before we do this, go to Pages and All Pages. You should have two. You should have a privacy policy page. Comes by default. You should have a sample page. Comes by default. Raise your hand if you've clicked on Pages. Excellent. You don't get a privacy policy page. Don't worry about it. The EU doesn't like you anyway. All right. So we're all on the pages, correct? Raise your hand if you're on Pages. All right. All right. Here's a button up at the top that says Add New. Remember this process because we're going to do it about 6 times. You may have a pop-up that's telling you things, that's telling you how to do certain things here. For now, we're going to disable it. We're going to ignore it. We're going to type a title. Home. We're going to click Publish in the top right 2 times. It should now say Home is now live. Raise your hand when it says that. Emmanuel, does yours say it now? Then you got to raise your hand. Come on now. Get with the program. Exercise the arms. The reason why we need the arms is because my helpers need to know where to go. Are we good? All right, raise your hand if you don't now see Home is live. Or Home is now live. You don't see it? Raise your hand if you don't see it. I'm just seeing how well y'all follow directions. Okay. Over on the left, you should still see All Pages and Add New, correct? Over on the left, in the dark gray area, you should still see All Pages and Add New. Click Add New again. We're going to type in the word updates. And we're going to click Publish twice. Raise your hand when you see Updates is now live. See it, Emmanuel? You good? If you see it on somebody else's laptop, that doesn't do any good. All right. Now, I said we were going to do this about 6 or 7 times, right? You're going to have it down before we're done. Click Add New. You should have clicked Publish twice for updates. And now we're going to click Add New. We should now have a blank Add Title space, right? Okay. Type in it Sermons. Somebody tell me what comes next. Publish twice. And then raise your hand. Aren't you glad you're not Moses? You had to have both hands up. Are you demeaning my joke just simply because it's been used before?
Just saying it's not original.
That's true. All right. Put your hands down and raise your hand if you're not done. If you don't see sermons is now live. Okay. Click add new again. About us. Published twice. Raise your hand when you're done. You get faster over time. Hey, Jerry, there at the nursery, do you get a lot of exercise with your arms? Because these guys are starting to feel like maybe they're not in school of preaching anymore. They're in the shoulder muscle stretching field. Click add new. Contact us. Publish twice. And then raise your hand. All right, those who are done, put your hands down. If you don't see contact us is now live in the top right, raise your hand. If you don't see it.
Could you say all this page that we've done so far?
Yes, we have done, I actually have it in a list. Y'all remember the handout that we gave yesterday? Everybody still have the handout we gave yesterday? James? Run that to Mr. DJ. All the way back. Raise your hand if you don't have a handout. Yeah, it's the one from yesterday. Oh, taking that copy too. Raise your hand if you need one. Where you see a hand, go take a set to it. Keep your hands up so my kids can see you. They're short. Yes. Thank you. Listen. Don't trip over that cord. All right, on that are the list of all the pages that we're making. So, the next one, add new, learning resources. If you don't know how to spell it, it's on the page. I only say that because I'm terrible at spelling. Published twice. Should now see learning resources is now live. Add new. Articles. Published twice. Raise your hand when articles is now live. Are we good in the back? All right, raise your hand if you do not already have articles, learning resources, sermons, home, about us, contact us. So everybody's got those. All right. Add new. Members. Publish twice. Add new. Bulletins. Publish twice. Raise your hand if you see it. You're done. Add new. What to expect. Now, why is this one important? Somebody remember from yesterday.
For someone seeing if you're a sound congregation.
Someone seeing if you're a sound congregation. What about a visitor? What did we say about setting expectations? We were talking about voicemails.
Oh, they won't be disappointed if they know what they're getting.
If you set the expectations of what they will experience when they're there, then when they're there and they get exactly what they expect, the result psychologically is they're satisfied with the experience. When they show up and they get something they didn't expect, you may get a satisfactory, you may get a very satisfied, but you may get a I'm very unhappy because they didn't get what they expected to get. So in the what to expect, we're going to tell them things that they should expect to find when they come and worship with us or when they want to learn more about us. That's important, okay? All of these, by the way, every single piece of these goes into everything that I said yesterday. There's not a single page here that's fluff. There's not a single page here that doesn't have a purpose. And we want to make that clear as we go through. One more. Free download. Publish. Say, I don't know what I'm going to give away. Got you covered. Actually, there's two more. Add new. Type your name. Not the words your name. No clowns in the class at all. Raise your hand if you have typed the name that was given to you at birth.
That's a long time.
And then clicked publish twice. Are we good? All right. Now, let's do something quickly that will help you in your website. Because if you don't do this, I just want to demonstrate what yours should look like. If you go to the front of your website right now, you will be waiting on the internet anyway. Steve, stop breaking the internet. Wow, I can't type. See if it's just that computer. Hold on. Nope, we broke the internet.
Every once in a while you have to turn your Wi-Fi off and turn it back on. I don't know what it does.
Is that like a secret technique in the school?
For mine.
Yes.
Should we do the class assignments and sermon outlines pages as well for us that are students?
Yes, you should. So if you're waiting on me, go ahead and make another page that says class assignments and sermon outlines. The internet is back. If you got disconnected, because I don't know, something happened with Wi-Fi, turn your Wi-Fi off and back on again on your computer, you should be fine. And then hit refresh on the page. All right, so we did, I'll do them too, just where we have them. Class assignments. The G goes before the N in assignments. There is a G and an N in assignments. Last thing you need is to send out your website to your supporters and you don't know how to spell assignments. And sermon outlines. So if you click on all pages, you should have, and by the way, any of these messages, you can just hit the X on and make them go away. Don't have to see them all the time. You should have a list that has pages for all of the things that we've created. Raise your hand if you have all of these pages other than the one that says Aaron Cosworth. You shouldn't have that one. And you shouldn't have privacy policy. Raise your hand if you've done it.
What's going to be the difference between sermon and sermon outlines?
Sermons would have recordings. Outlines would be documents. You wouldn't necessarily, most congregations don't publish sermon outlines, so you wouldn't necessarily use the sermon outlines page or create a sermon outline page if you're just making it for a congregation. That's more because you're going to use it as a student. Yeah. Raise your hand if you've not completed all of the pages.
It's just the internet.
It's just the internet. A lot of things have been blamed on being just the internet. Are you going to take accountability for all those things? Put these two X's just to get them out of there. Yeah. All right, so about us, articles, bulletins, contact us, free download, training resource members, graphic changes, and scroll down. You already had sample page that came out here. Sermon outlines, sermon update. This is what to expect. All right. Hover over open. Yeah, and hit click edit. Okay. Put an S on there. And then S on the end of the second one. Alright, and then scroll down just a little bit. And you should have a that's okay. Okay, very good. Now, how long do you think it's going to take the entire class to design and build all these pages? It'll take 7 minutes for the first one and about a minute and a half for each one after it. Okay? We're going to race the clock and see if we can be ready to do that before noon. So a couple of things we need to do first, because your site currently looks something like this. Do you see any of those pages you built? You see any links to them? Nope. Okay. We're going to build a menu. In Appearance, there's a button called Menus. So hover over Appearance, and then go to Menus. Click on it. Raise your hand when you're there. You should see this. Now I'm going to teach you how to write 30 lines of code real quick. No, I'm not. In the menu structure, type main. M-A-I-N. Don't put an E on it. It's not the state. Create menu.
What should we put in there?
M-A-I-N. Think of it in the terms of main menu. Main menu. Like the primary menu. All right? You should now see menu name, main, and a list of things over here and some blank space, right? Yes? All right. Click on the left-hand side, click View All. And go through and click check boxes next to all of them except Sample Page.
Why do we have two homes?
Why do you have two homes? There may have been a home page that was created with your site automatically, but I don't think so, so I don't know why you have two homes. Okay, then there was a home page created with your site automatically. So the answer is I don't know which one we're going to keep, but we'll figure that out here in a minute. Go ahead and add them both. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Scratch that. Uncheck home completely. You don't need it. You need the page, you don't need it in the menu. Uncheck both of the homes. You went from having two homes to homeless instantaneously. Add to menu. It's 2008 all over again. It might take a minute for it to add them all. Raise your hand when your screen looks like this. Hey, Eric. Go check on them. Okay. Once you've added them, I know a couple of people are still working on it. Once you've hit add to menu and they're all there, we are going to change their order. This is not a difficult process. You're going to drag them around until, if you think about a home, here, hold on. Let me do this by showing you. Think about this menu right here, okay? The topmost selection in our list is on the far left. Far left. And then the next one, and then the next one. But you say, is it complicated to build a drop-down menu? No, it's not. So let's walk through this. We're going to put About Us first, because we are learning how to build church websites. First thing that should be there is something about you, your congregation. So About Us goes first. Then we have, I'm going to use this as a reference here, contact us. So take contact us and drag it directly below about us, but not to the side. Okay? Directly below. That outline should be directly below about us. You do not need to click save after each time. Just work with me through the entire list. Next thing is going to be learning resources. So learning resources directly below contact us. Here comes the very difficult, complicated process of building a sub-menu. Learning resources. By the way, when they came in, they should have come in alphabetical order. So if you're trying to scroll down to find it, it's going to be in the L's. Raise your hand if everybody has at the top about us, contact us, and learning resources. Do you need help, Emmanuel?
Yes.
All right. Can you help? We're racing the clock. 3 more minutes. If we don't get through in time, you just won't get lunch. I skip lunch most days. All right. So raise your hand if you have about us, contact us, and learning resources at the top. Okay? I have hands not raised. Thank you. Okay. All right. We're going to take articles and we're going to drag it up but to the right of learning resources. So it's going to be below learning resources but over to the right. And we're going to drop it there. We're going to take sermons and we're going to put it directly below articles. Everybody got that? Raise your hand if you've got those there. They are below and to the right. Should look like an outline. You should be familiar with that. Subpoint A, subpoint B. Okay? Next, take members and put it under sermons, but back over to the left. So it should be back to main point 4. Yeah. What a spectacular idea. Hey, look. It's full screen. Nope. You don't get lunch now. I was going to buy everybody's lunch. It's too late. Sorry. Drag bulletins up and to the right under members. Yes, members is back in line with learning resources, contact us, and about us. What you've done there when we're finished is you've created a drop-down menu under learning resources and another drop-down menu under members. Okay? Now, you should have your name somewhere in this list. It's probably bumped down to below bulletins unless your name starts in the last half of the alphabet. Take your name and put it below bulletins. Back in line with members. Back in line with members. I didn't remove home. You're going to drag class assignments under your name and to the right. Sermon outlines under your name and to the right. Everybody there? We're going to put the updates up here at the bottom of the learning resources. See, I did that one out of order just to confuse y'all. So, drag updates underneath learning resources, underneath sermons, but to the right. Everybody good? If yours looks about like mine, raise your hand. Okay. Sometimes you have to come. So it became a part of Contact Us, so we've got to get out of the Contact Us area. So now we'll just come and drag this one back down. There you go. Go ahead and scroll up. So class assignments needs to go to the right underneath your name. Right there. Yep. And sermon outlines need to come up like that. In line with class assignments. Yeah, it went. Yeah. Go back in the middle, in between where you have before. Right, just to the right. There you go. Perfect. All right, let's scroll down. Is everybody caught up? I will mention something. Someone else did have an issue with it. They had a page become a... actually, let's not do that one. They had a page become a subpage that they didn't want it to be a subpage. They dragged it there by accident. But every time they tried to drag it to the right, or sorry, to the left, it wouldn't work. You've got to get out of the area where that one is and drag it back down somewhere to the bottom to get it back out of being a subpage. You can't stay in the subpage area of the other one. So probably won't happen to you, but if it does, just drag it down out of that area, and then you should be able to go all the way to the left. Okay. Now, I'm going to teach you a technique that's important, and that is how to remove an item from the list that you didn't want to have there. Click the down button, that down caret right next to page under free download. Sorry, next to free download. So, the selection for free download, click on that and scroll down until you see the button remove. So I thought we wanted to give away something for free. Yes, but not in this menu. All right, so everyone see remove? So you got to click on free download, open it up, and click remove. And it should be gone now. You should see this. When you see this, what to expect at the bottom, move what to expect above your name in line on the left-hand side with members. So your name and then class assignments, sermon outline should be the very last three things. Click Save Menu. When you've clicked Save Menu, raise your hand. What to expect goes above your name in line with members. Bulletins goes below members, but to the right. Yes, submenu. What to expect goes directly above your name, but all the way to the left. It's a main point in the outline. If you've hit Save Menu, you should be able to hover over the title of your website right up here, which, by the way, should be your name, I think. Right? Everybody has their name up there at the top in dark. Up at the very top of the page, everybody scroll all the way up, hover over your name. You should see it Visit Site or Edit Site, right? Ah, okay. I'm a super admin, so I get to edit any of your sites. Click Visit Site. All right. Still looks the same, right? Still looks like it did before, right? Click back. Should take you right back. Click back in the browser. Should take you right back to the menu page, right? Everybody see this? If you disconnected from the network, turn your Wi-Fi off and back on again. Hit refresh. Getting close to food. We're going to click this button right here. It says Primary Menu. Down at the very bottom of your menu, where you put everything in order, Primary Menu, Save Menu. After you've hit Save Menu, raise your hand. Okay. One last thing, then we're going to break for lunch. Back under Settings. So you're back in the dashboard. Everybody's in the dashboard. Settings. Reading. You remember I said we went there and we went there too early? So we hadn't built our pages yet, then we hadn't built our menu yet. Now we're back. Reading. Click Reading. Everybody see reading settings? We're going to select this this radio menu right here. It says a static page. Click the drop down for home page and select home. The drop down for post page and select updates. So when you're done, it should look like this. Select either one of them. We're going to go delete one of them at the beginning of the next session. So, I tell you what, everyone select the first home. So you have 2 homes, select the first one in the list. If you only have one, then select the first one. Makes it really hard. After you've done that, hit Save Changes. Hover over your name on the top. This time, right-click on Visit Site or Option-click and hit Open Link in New tab. That wasn't the right one. You should now have a menu at the top, the word Home, and a sidebar. You have that? Raise your hand if you have it. Okay. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yours is down here simply because your screen's a little smaller than that. So it's just resized. We're gonna fix that. If your screen is smaller, your menu may be multiple lines and it may be below the logo instead of to the side the way that one is. As you can tell, we've got some colors to adjust, but that's okay because we can adjust them once and they update everywhere. So, yeah, you're good. Okay. You are dismissed for lunch until 1:05.